All cats old enough to catch their own prey gather here beneath the podcast for a clan meeting. Welcome to Paws Clause, a podcast where we read the Warrior Cats books in chronological order. I'm Scout, joined by my co-host and littlest kobold, Jill, and today we will be discussing Omen of the Stars, Book 2, Fading Echoes, and the novella Ravenpaw's Farewell. Jill, how are you doing, my little kobold friend?
I'm crying in the club.
Crying in the fucking club today, gamers.
Gamers, I woke up this morning, I watched the new episode of Dan, I cried my eyes out, I spent my day reading Warriors books in preparation for the podcast, I cried my eyes out, and now I'm here, ready to cry again.
Ready to cry once more. Third time's a charm. Going for the triple.
Yeah, hat trick, right? That's what a triple is.
It's a hat trick, yeah.
Oh, fuck. I don't know.
Terms or conditions.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Terms and or conditions.
Terms and or conditions. I have no concept of any of them.
I don't know her. But yes, it is true. Today has been a day of many feelings about cats, actually, I guess. But how are you, Scout?
I am good. I'm still in the BL mines for the most part, if I'm honest. I've been, I come on here every recording and I say cringe is dead. And I do believe in that. But I'm really, I'm really pushing the limits, I would say. Because
do tell.
You gave me 2-ish months ago, you gave me the recommendation of Zaski and Miyano.
I did.
and I read it then, and I had a great time. And then, and I was like, wow, this is really good. This is great. And then, I moved on with my life. And then I decided that I wanted to reread it, and I reread it, and I was like, man, wow, this is really hitting. I love this. And then I was like, what if I watched the 12-episode anime? And so I watched the 12-episode anime, and I was like, well, I have to watch the tie-in OVA, so I watched the tie-in OVA, and maybe I should watch the movie too, because that covers the graduation arc, and so I should watch the graduation arc movie. And then I was like, I watched the anime with the English dub, and I really liked that, but it would kind of be nice if I watched it with the Japanese voice actors too, so I watched it again. And then I was like, I would really like, because I've been reading, the scans I've been reading weren't actually the official manga releases, so maybe I should reread the manga and I should read it with the official manga release translation. And maybe I should start the anime again, because I really like the English voice actors. I would like to hear them again. And all of this is also including...
Fucking amazing.
That's also including the Hirano and Kageura spin-off manga too. And I've been like, oh, you know what? I could just while I'm sitting here working or reading or whatever, you know what I could really go for is the Zaski and Miyano anime soundtrack.
I adore you. My good lord, this is incredible news.
I'm in trouble. I'm in fucking trouble, man.
Welcome to the Fujoshi lifestyle.
I'm in the Fujoshi.
Now do you know this has been me for the past 3 years?
Yeah, I know, and I respect it.
All of my other goddamn fucking ships. Now you know. Now you understand.
I understand. It is agonizing. I haven't been in this deep since the first wave of Royai hit me, which
Damn,
I did unearth the memory today.
Oh yes, I did see that.
I told a Royai story last episode, but I did unearth another memory today, which is that I taught myself how to play a whole ass Chopin classical piano piece on the piano when I was 13, because it played in a pivotal Royai equivalent scene in the end of the 03 Fullmetal Alchemist anime, which was what planted the seed and started my journey to being obsessed with Roy Mustang and Riza Hawkeye and their relationship. And I just learned Chopin. I learned Chopin for them. This is the zone that I'm in right now.
That's crazy.
I really feel like I have been truly for years. I have been forcing myself to chill when I get really into like being a fan of something. And this year I'm just like, you know what? The training wheels are coming off. Just let me be insane about it. And I tell you what, I'm having a great time, listeners. I'm having a wonderful time.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes you just have to be unwell about something for a little bit, and it's good actually for your mental health.
Yeah, I agree. I went up to visit a friend last weekend, and one of the things we do when I come up to visit is we usually go to, there's this big store up in Annapolis that has like 3 different buildings, and one of them is the manga and comic books and anime figures and like comic book figures store.
Hell yeah.
One of them is the records and like local zines and like occult witchy stuff store.
Hell yeah.
And then the other one is the board games and tabletop RPGs store.
Sounds like a perfect fucking day to me.
Yeah, it's great. So I did pick up some. The spine of the book says BL, but it was wrapped in plastic, so we all know what that means. I have not yet read it, but I did pick up. Bear with me here, because I've been told the story is actually very good, despite the name. Dick Fight Island. I have yet to read it. I will report back on if the story is as good as everyone has said.
It can't be called that.
It is called that. It is called that, in fact. So I did, and I almost picked up.
Why is it called?
I almost picked up another. I was looking actually for like the physical copies of Zaski and Miyano so I could like actually read it. Because I'm unfortunately not very good at doing the scanlation situation.
That's so valid. I've also been considering buying the physical volume.
I mean, they're very thin, so like it's not going to take up a ton of space.
It's not going to take up a ton of space. I do have. This is the thing. Again, I have full box set of the manga of Fullmetal Alchemist in my closet, and that's like the other big thing that I own. So you know, it's time to spring for some more.
But they did not have the first couple, so I was like, okay, well, I will just wait until I can find like the first few. But yes, Dick Fight Island is one of the books I got. I also got a cute little manga that looks like it's about a street cat and a house cat becoming best friends and going on adventures together. Yeah. So I'm very excited to read that one as well.
That's so cute.
But I was like, I'll pick up some new things that I haven't read before. But yes. So I will report back.
I'm on the Wikipedia page for Dick Fight Island.
I mean, I haven't read it yet, so don't spoil
I'm not going to spoil
anything.
anything. I'm closing it. Genre adventure yaoi is very funny.
Fuck.
Oh, closing that. Did you send me? Somebody sent me a fucking image of Dick Fight Island this weekend too. Was it you? Or
fuck, it was not me.
Oh, it might have been friend of the show Libby sent me a TikTok where somebody was like, they got everything here. And it was a picture of something called Dick Fight Island.
I mean, you know?
That one's gonna haunt me. I'm gonna have to find that and read it too so I can know what the hell. Why did they name it that?
And this is Julia's theory. They named it that so that people would be like, what the actual fuck? I gotta see what this is about.
It's like a clickbait title.
It feels like a clickbait title. Oh man! But yes, dear listeners, I will be bringing up yaoi again later.
I would have it no other way.
Yes, I have a very fun thing that I found as I was doing my research.
Oh, I'm excited!
So I can't wait to share this with you.
I cannot wait.
But yeah, why don't we talk about how the prey's been running, Scout?
How is the prey been running?
I ordered Chinese food tonight, and it was very good.
That sounds so good.
And remember how I was talking forever ago about the fucking cucumber salads?
Yes.
I ordered cucumber salad with it, and it was very delicious.
Nice. Hell yeah. Anything else especially tasty lately?
Let's see. While I was up in DC, I got some sushi, and we ordered from our favorite taco taco place. And we found oh my God, I had like this incredible bagel sandwich one morning for breakfast.
Yo.
My God, it was so good.
That sounds so good.
It had pastrami and honey on it.
Woo! You get that savory, salty, sweet. You get that.
Yeah, it was perfect.
They got all the food groups.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds good.
What about you?
I made a new recipe last night that was like a pretty simple, like sort of shallow fried, pan fried chicken with like an onion and lemon and thyme sauce that was really tasty. Had some roasted Brussels sprouts on the side.
Love some Brussels sprouts.
Love a good roasted Brussels sprout. I love a Brussels sprout in any configuration, honestly. I know some people aren't that big on like a boiled or steamed Brussels sprout. I like Brussels sprouts in all iterations. I'm an equal opportunity Brussels sprout eater.
I am unfortunately someone who does not care for a steamed Brussels, but
I think that's so valid.
A nice like crispy roasted Brussels.
Mine is roasty toasty, so good.
Roasty and toasty.
And then Mom found a recipe for pecan pie cookies. We haven't made them yet. But I really want to make them. They look so good. So I'll report back on those. They look it's like you have sort of like a soft sugar cookie base, and you put a little pile of like pecan pie filling in the center, and then you bake it.
Yeah, you gotta report back on that because that sounds fucking delicious.
I will report back. Not as fun, but my mother keeps falling prey to Facebook recipes that have AI photos. It's not her fault because they are quite if you're just like looking at them not very closely, it's easy to mistake them. But she'll be like, oh, look at this recipe, and I'll read the recipe and I'll look at the image and I'm like, that recipe does not create that image. So people, stop fucking doing that. Stop it. Get some help. I hate it out there. Stop doing that. Just get food photos. Get the real things. Make real recipes.
Yeah.
But speaking of real images versus bad and cursed AI images that must go in the pear wriggler.
Instead, we have beautiful and good images.
Beautiful and good images. Even though Ravenpaw's farewell is the thing we're going to talk about second today, I will bring up first today the Polish cover because it's so
fucking beautiful.
Not with the motherfucking forget-me-nots. Are you for real?
That
Polish cover artist.
Insane.
I'm going to expire. Oh, with the sunlight shining and their little foreheads are touching, Barley and Ravenpaw. Ah.
Yeah, they make a heart.
They do make a heart. Oh, I love them so much. So that cover's really good. I should start just posting these when the episode comes out. I should post them on the Discord for folks to see them. It's so pretty. And then kind of found surprisingly a lot of stuff that I wanted to talk about for Fading Echoes.
Okay.
First of all, the Polish cover whips. Unsurprising. This has this great like sneering ivy paw on it with the background of the dark forest, which just looks miserable. But then you have...
It's so cool.
It's so cool. And then you have sort of, it almost looks like it's beneath the dark forest, or it's like a reflection of the dark forest with the roots that kind of look like they're trees. And it is this flower field where Ivy Paw meets with her totally normal Star Clan cat friend.
Super cool new mentor.
Super cool new Star Clan mentor from Star Clan.
We've never met him before, so we don't really know a lot about him. His name is Hawkfrost. He seems pretty chill.
Yeah, he seems totally like his vibe is
super normal. Super fine. Everything's good with him.
Seems
honestly.
Totally on the level.
Yeah.
Really cool guy.
Really cool dude. Super chill.
Super cool guy. Continuing to visit Poland here. This was listed on warriorsofficialart.tumblr.com as Polish collectible card. I don't know. I guess maybe these were something that was packaged with the books, but it fucking rips. It's so cool. It is.
Yeah, it's really neat.
Ivypaw and Dovepaw, and they're kind of circling each other in a little forest glade. And then there is a bird kind of watching them from the tree above, and there's sunlight shining.
The bird's got this face like, oh, the girls are fighting.
The bird does. The bird is me. The bird is me watching Ivypaw and Dovepaw have any conversation in this book. Oh, those poor sisters. So I love that. And the original Wayne McLaughlin cover was actually like, I had never given it really much of a second thought because I didn't like the Ivypaw portrait that's on it. So I was always sort of focusing on that and not looking at the background painting. But if you isolate the background painting, it's really sick. It's Dovepaw and Lion Blaze going through the forest with all of this like really... It looks like moss or like, when water gets duckweed all over the top and so the whole top of the water turns green. It's got that kind of vibe. And then it's got these big trees in the background and there's logs and it's just really a cool, unique look.
Yeah. No, it is really... I think the other thing too about the portrait on Fading Echoes is it feels placed very low on the cover, just by the way that it's not actually placed any lower, I don't think, than Paws was on the previous cover, but it feels lower, I think, because of the framing of it.
Mm-hmm. I think for the Omen of the Stars arc, they also started making the portraits bigger.
Yeah, it is a very big portrait. And it's like an oval instead of just a circle.
Mm-hmm. And so the style just doesn't quite hit as hard as some of the earlier arcs, I think. But love this very cool painting. I always love to see Wayne's stuff.
Mm-hmm.
King, rest in peace, fly high. And then I don't remember if this is, I think it's the simplified Chinese, but it's a Chinese cover, which I think when I found it, I couldn't find like what the characters are, but it looks to me like it's Jay Feather and Tiger Star.
I think Jay Feather and maybe it is Tiger Star. Yeah,
because I think Tiger Star iconically has a scar across his muzzle and the notch in his ear, but it might also be Broken Star because there's like all of the evil cats look the same.
They kind of do.
They kind of are. All of the evil cats are like dark brown tabby, dark brown tabby, dark brown tabby.
Yeah.
But I like, there's just a real sinister feel here. It's giving a little bit of Screaming While Pooping face with Jay Feather. If you have a cat, you know, if you have a cat, you know the face that they make sometimes. But there's also kind of weirdly a Phantom of the Opera vibe where it looks like Tiger Star / Broken Star is like whispering in Jay Feather's ear, like, sing for me. So a lot of good stuff happening there. I like that. And then one last thing, which is just a real quick shout out to one of the Black and White Russian illustrations. This is the tree falling into the hollow. It's very sort of abstracted and cartoony in the way like the tree is like really huge and like a fucked up looking big fantasy tree. But I'm excited to talk about that whole scene. I think that's a really strong part of the reading today, and it's cool to see a little illustration of that. I think it's cool as shit. That's what I've got for Cover Corner in the subgenre of the section of How's the Prey Running.
Yeah. It's a good subsection. I like it a lot.
I love to talk about art.
I would never have guessed.
Even when it's an audio medium, I will do it.
Yep.
You can't stop me. I make this podcast. I make the rules.
I am the captain.
I am the captain now. It's my birthday party, and I want to talk about the silly little covers.
In the time since we have been out, or since we have recorded last, we do have some news about the series that was recently given. So one, the last book of the current arc, I can't remember the name of the current arc. Starless Clan?
Current arc is called A Starless Clan, yes.
Okay, Starless Clan, the final book, Star, just came out, and I've been pretty well avoiding spoilers, thank goodness.
Nice, me too.
However, with that announcement, did come some news about the Erins. There will be a bit of a change up in that one of the Erins is retiring. Well, retiring. Not going to be writing for the Warriors series anymore.
Retiring from being an Erin.
Yes, Kate Carey is officially leaving the team to go and work on her own writing projects. Very excited to see what she does next.
Hell yeah.
Kind of bittersweet because she's been with the series the whole time, and it's going to be very sad to see her go. But Star was apparently her final book written as one of the Erins.
Wow.
So she did not write anything for this upcoming series that's coming out next year. So yeah, she's heading out, and so is, I can never pronounce his name. You know how to pronounce his name.
McLeod Andrews.
McLeod Andrews is going to be not doing the audiobooks anymore. He's retiring from Warriors as well. So yeah, it is very interesting. I wish them both the best. They will be missed.
Definitely.
Can't wait to see what they do next.
I'm so curious about with Kate Carey especially. That leaves just Cherith Baldry as sort of like the remaining Erin from the core original Erins. And I'm curious if we're going to get another like lead author, because even when Victoria Holmes retired from working on Warriors, she was the like idea guy and doing a lot of the editing, but she wasn't writing the manuscripts. So this is the first time we'll be losing an Erin that is writing the manuscripts for the main series, because Victoria Holmes did write a lot of the novellas. So I'm curious if it's going to be Twee Sutherland, if it's going to be somebody new, if Cherith Baldry is just taking over and going to do all of them for the next arc that they're working on, that they're about to start putting out. I don't know. I can't wait to see.
Yeah, I'm very excited. I did not realize that Cherith Baldry was born in 1947.
Yeah, Cherith Baldry is old. Old as Baldry's.
Jesus Christ. Oh, Scout.
Stupid. We love you, Cherith Baldry.
Oh, Lord. Incredible. Okay, well, on that note, I would like to throw my name in the hat, throw my name in the hat. Erin's, hit me up.
Erin's,
I will make sure that we follow the canon, and I think I'm pretty decent at writing. So
yeah, you could write a Warrior Cats book, no problemo.
Easy.
Easy
How hard
peasy.
could it be? I'm just kidding. All right. Do you want to go ahead and jump us in there?
Yeah, let me give us the summary. In Fading Echoes, we see that the return of the water has not completely washed away the troubles of the cats around the lake. Dovepaw especially is struggling to balance clan loyalty with the responsibility that comes with her powers. Her senses can spread across the entirety of the territories, so doesn't it stand to reason that she should be looking out for all the clans? But her attempts to check up on her friends from the journey are met with hostility, and her turmoil is only heightened when Lion Blaze and Jayfeather simultaneously lean on the convenience of her powers while enforcing secrecy, causing a painful rift with her sister Ivypaw. Speaking of Ivypaw, she is becoming bitter and jealous of Dovepaw, who seems to receive special treatment from her mentor, the medicine cat, even their clan leader. In her dreams, she meets a cat named Hawkfrost, who she believes to be a Star Clan resident. He sympathizes with her frustrations, compliments her tenacity, and offers to train her. After the scorching dryness of the drought, the lake territories have since been bombarded with heavy rainfall and high winds. This causes erosion that uproots a massive beech tree, which tumbles into the stone hollow of ThunderClan's camp. With Dovepaw's powers giving them a heads up, most of the cats flee to safety, but the tree's fall still takes its toll, killing Longtail and paralyzing Graystripe's daughter Briarlight. As the Shaken clan bands together to rebuild their crushed camp around the trunk of the felled tree, Jayfeather consults his fellow medicine cats on a treatment for a cat who can no longer use her back legs. Determined to keep her healthy, he enacts a strict exercise regimen for her to strengthen the muscles she can still use. Sometime later, during a visit to the moon pool, Jayfeather speaks with Yellowfang and Spotted Leaf, voicing his fears for a possible conflict with Tigerstar and his crew. The StarClan cats lead him into the dark forest for a recon mission, revealing that living cats are being trained in their dreams, more so now than ever before. Desiring to know exactly who is falling under the influence of the dark forest, he and Lion Blaze ask Dovepaw to spy on her clanmates using her powers, but the apprentice refuses, appalled by the proposal. Ivypaw, meanwhile, still under the impression that her secret training is from StarClan cats, is told by Hawkfrost that ShadowClan intends to invade ThunderClan territory, and the only way to stop them is to attack them first. The apprentice takes this proposal to Firestar, who tentatively believes her, and after negotiations with Blackstar end unfavorably, a fight is inevitable. The battle is much messier and more costly than either clan assumed it would be, claiming 2 lives: Russetfur, ShadowClan's elderly deputy, and one of Firestar's ever-dwindling 9 lives. In the grim aftermath, Lion Blaze realizes they may have just made a huge mistake. In Ravenpaw's Farewell, our titular character is living a quiet and happy life with Barley on the farm, though suffering from chronic stomach pain and an aging body. The old forest territories have been carved through with new buildings and roads, but remnants of the clan's lives there still remain. When Barley's niece and nephew, Bella and Riley, show a passionate interest in becoming clan cats instead of living as kitty pets, Ravenpaw remembers Firestar's stories of revitalizing the long-lost 5th clan, Sky Clan, and wonders if he should lead the youngsters to the gorge to join. He proceeds to receive a friendly nudge in that direction from StarClan in his dreams. Even after Violet, the kit's mother, reluctantly agrees to Ravenpaw's proposal, Barley is fully against it. He refuses to accompany them, not even seeing them off when they set out. But after a few days, he catches up. He admits he was worried that this quest meant Ravenpaw would rather be with a clan than with him, a claim Ravenpaw quickly refutes. The two make up, and the journey continues, now a much happier affair. When they reach SkyClan's territory, Leafstar is polite but distant, refusing the new recruits. Her clan is in yet another bind, as a gaggle of rowdy strays have begun harassing their camp on a nightly basis. With some additional insight from StarClan, Ravenpaw proposes a change in the 5th clan's borders to stave off the interlopers, enforced with a fight if necessary. As the clan prepares, they accept Riley and Bella into their ranks, opinions softened by camaraderie and their enthusiastic determination. The battle is a success, SkyClan's territory is defended, but Ravenpaw, despite insisting on participating, has been growing weaker from the sickness in his stomach. And it's clear to him and Barley both that he can't go on much longer. SkyClan helps Barley to get Ravenpaw comfortable. The two curl around each other one last time, saying their goodbyes. As Ravenpaw's spirit walks away, not to StarClan, but to somewhere else, somewhere he can wait for Barley to join him, he vows to his partner that they will see each other again.
Man, I'm tearing up again just thinking about it.
Okay. We will talk about the sad gay cats in a little bit, but firstly,
Yes.
we will talk about Fading Echoes.
The sisters and their drama.
The girls are fighting.
Are fighting.
Overall thoughts on this particular one?
I think it had some stronger moments than The Fourth Apprentice, but I still think it just kind of... I think it was an ambitious choice to do 4 narrators.
Yeah.
And I feel like that made it perhaps a little too choppy for me.
I was going to say that I really feel like this is more a book of vignettes than it is really a singular narrative. It was something I was really noticing when I was trying to summarize it, was like, we really like covered a lot of ground doing a lot of different stuff. Honestly, I think we should just drop the Lion Blaze perspective.
I agree.
And just have it be Dovepaw, Ivypaw, and Jay Feather can be in there too, because he still is doing important things.
He's got some stuff going on, yeah.
But what is Lion Blaze really doing for us here, guys? What is he doing?
He's getting with his girlfriend.
He is getting with his girlfriend, maybe.
That was like the one Lion Blaze scene that I enjoyed.
Yeah, and it's because Cinderheart's in it, and Cinderheart rules.
Exactly. Yeah, no, that's a 100%.
Yeah, this is definitely a book where I feel like they're having to do a lot because they're having to, this is one of the books, there's always at least one, I think, in each of these 6-book series where it's like, we are laying groundwork.
Setting everything up. Yeah.
All of the dominoes are being set, are being, the house of cards is being constructed for it to be knocked down. But those tend to have not quite as solid of flow or consistency as some of the others.
Yeah, I agree. But I think it definitely had some very strong and fun moments. And some also absolutely devastating ones.
Yeah.
There was some rough, there was a rough death in this one.
I miss him.
I miss him too. You know who misses him even more? Mouse Fur.
Fucking Mouse Fur misses him so much. My rare pair, they've been separated. They were a bonded pair. Do not separate. And the Erin separated them. Jillian.
I know.
Oh, the scene where Purdy is like comforting Mouse Fur by getting her to tell him stories about Longtail.
Ugh, broken. Absolutely devastated.
So devastating. The destruction of ThunderClan's camp with the beech tree is probably my favorite part of this book.
Yeah, it was crazy good.
It's so, the tension is so high. First of all, how do they know what a prop is in this scenario? We are once again, cats are doing infrastructure.
Yeah.
But I love it.
And it cracked me up too when, unrelated, when Jay Feather was like, I like plants better than people.
Yeah.
He's like, they don't talk back. And I'm like, damn, okay. Sassy bitch.
Oh, I love him.
Yeah, I do too. What a guy.
What a guy. We'll get back to the tree scene. My first note that I have here is I can't believe Darkstripe is still hanging on Tiger Star's every word. Yes, I can. But
I was gonna say, literally my first note was Darkstripe being a simp again.
He's a fucking simp. He will never stop simping. He is simping when he was alive. He is simping in hell. He is simply simping.
Yeah.
It's so funny. And Tiger Star is so...
He's so over it.
He hates it. It's so funny.
Yeah, he's not about it.
Mm-mm. It was fun to get the Dark Forest perspective for the prologue.
Yeah.
I don't know that we really needed it, but it's just like fun. It's fun to see them fucking around.
Yeah. I kind of like seeing them just be kind of fucking weirdos sometimes.
Yeah. I liked getting, we got a little hint of Breeze Pelt in there.
He is going down the pipeline.
It's bad, dog.
It's not good.
It's rough.
It's it's hard to look at.
Uh-huh. I had forgotten like just how radicalized he gets. It's in a very bad way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
One thing I did like though, once we get out of the prologue and into the beginning of the book proper, we have Ivy Paw like swearing at one point, and she says StarClan's kits, and I think that's so fun and so silly. I love it when they make up cat swears.
It's very good. I do have to say I love how Dovewing is so, again, I know I talked about this last time, but she is so the inverse. She is Hollyleaf's narrative foil so hard.
Yeah.
Because she is just kind of like, why the fuck would I listen to the code? Like, my friends are hurt and in trouble, and I should do something about that. And it was very rough to see her get completely, to see WindClan treat her like they did, and to see Sedgwisker, like,
totally
kind of
shut her down. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really rough.
It was really hard to see that, but I think it just shows how different she is, not only from Hollyleaf, but also from Lionblaze and Jayfeather. Because Jayfeather, he's in a unique position of like being a medicine cat and can kind of chat with the other medicine cats. But Lionblaze has his whole history with Heathertail, and so her being very much like, I am going to be someone who follows my heart, I think is it's a good thing to have with these two boys, because they are so, I don't know what the best word is for it.
They're very focused on the health and happiness of their own clan. Even when they say, like, our powers are bigger than, our powers are greater than, we're going to have the power of the stars, or powers are greater than StarClan. Like, they are still always focusing in on it from the angle of how can this benefit our clan specifically. And Dovepaw having that perspective is so good and important. Even this line that she gave to Lionblaze at one point where she was like, so am I loyal to the prophecy or am I loyal to the warrior code? Is like, yes, you get it. You get it, babe. Get those adults' asses.
She's great.
She's great. I really like both of the sisters. Like, speaking of them, while we're speaking of them, and speaking of narrative foils, I think Ivy Paw getting essentially coaxed into Dark Forest training because of how she feels constantly one-upped by her sister, or like her sister is getting treatment that she is not getting, and how that plays with Dovepaw specifically not wanting special treatment and wishing that she didn't have a power and that she could just be, quote unquote, a normal cat, I think is really fun and really strong storytelling that like, and a cool way to showcase that like the prophecy itself and the powers are not only positively affecting, they are negatively affecting like these cats and their relationship. And I think that that's a cool angle to go for here.
Absolutely.
And
I really loved seeing their relationship kind of, as bad as it sounds, I loved seeing their relationship like start to fall apart.
Yeah, well, it's like gut wrenching, right? Because they were so close. They were like, we're going to do everything together. And I think in this one, even Dovepaw is like, she could never imagine like being so close with someone and then never talking to them again. Like, that's never going to happen with her and Ivy Paw. And it's like, girl, I don't know about that.
That's a suspicious thing to say.
I'm excited to get more of that. I think that their whole sibling relationship is really, really a highlight of this arc. I'm excited to see more of it.
Let's see. Let's talk about the beech tree.
Yeah.
The hell? So I do have to point out, part of it, again, this is just me, like, completely not understanding how ThunderClan's camp works. And, I am not the only one who said this, because, like, other people were saying it too. I'm like, how the fuck is this? What does this camp look like that a beech tree falls in there and, like, destroys the warrior's den? Because I thought the den was, like, in some stone or some shit. You know?
The warrior's den, I believe they, like, built a structure out of, like, bramble bushes, if I'm remembering right.
Okay.
Because the apprentice's den is, like, also under a bush. Everything is under a bush in this den. Okay. In this fucking camp.
Yeah, I have never been able to, like, clearly understand what the camp looks like.
The thing that I think is really, like, I remember during New Prophecy, they are fucking weaving structures together. So once again, the cat's doing extremely human things.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, but I did always still picture the warrior's den being on, like, the edge of camp, even if I did see it being a structure. So yeah, I don't know how, like, we get that the nursery is getting reinforced by the roots and the warrior's den is getting crushed and the elder's den has also been crushed, like, all in one arc of the tree. Maybe, like, because it breaks in half, so maybe it, like, goes like a V at some point. I don't know. It's never been fully clear to me either.
It's all about the vibes, though, so I can't be too mad about it.
It's all about the vibes, yeah, for real. And I think that it's one of the sickest things in the series that, like, a big tree falls in the camp, and that's just, they're cats. What are they gonna do? They're not gonna fucking, they can't get the tree out of there, so that's just their life now. They're like, okay, our life now, our home now is with this tree in it, with this fucking tree.
Guess we just, new tree just dropped.
New tree just dropped, literally. I guess we just live with this fucking tree now, and I think that is so
very fun.
I think that's so fun. The scene itself is really harrowing. The moments where they're trying to evacuate and Dovepaw is, like, you know, fucking bat ears, like trying so hard to identify which tree it is that's going to fall.
I know.
She is trying so hard.
And she blames herself for, like, not being able to save Longtail and Briarlight. Like, she's like, oh my god, it's all my fault. It's like, girl, if you hadn't sensed anything, like, half of the clan would be dead.
Yeah, and even all of the other, like, leaders and stuff, when they find out about it, are like, oh my god, only one cat died and one cat was injured? That's insane.
Yeah.
And it is, and she doesn't see how important it was that she was able to do that. The ramp up, that whole thing is so good when the tree falls and when Mousefur is just being her grumpy old self, and she's like, no, I don't want to it's raining out, I'm gonna get all wet.
It's wet outside.
I forgot my mouse, I'm hungry, I don't want the fucking perfectly good fresh kill. It's like, truly, she does not see that things are about to get really bad, and it's so hard. And Longtail being the one to go back in to try and do one more favor for her.
I literally want to perish.
I want to fucking die.
It absolutely destroyed me. And then the thing that Mousefur says after it is what, like, fucking killed me. She's like, because they're talking about, like, it's okay, he's gonna be in StarClan, he won't be blind anymore. And she's like, how is he gonna manage without me to guide him? And it's like, girl, oh god. That's her partner.
It's her partner. Oh.
And you know that it's not like it's she doesn't know what she's gonna do without him.
Yeah.
But yeah, oh my god.
And the guilt has to be crushing, right? Like,
for sure.
It's fucked up to be the one that survives in this
that
situation.
Survivor's guilt. Yeah.
Poor B. I'm so glad that she has Purdy at least, you know?
Yeah. And he does such a good job, like, trying to help her out.
This is one of the reasons that I am so soft on Purdy and I love Purdy so much is because of this stuff in this arc where he really like steps up and takes care of Mouse Fur after this happens.
He's a good man.
And the apprentices and stuff point out that like Mouse Fur isn't being grumpy at them anymore, and that's how they know that she's really fucked up about it.
I do gotta say, the one thing that like killed me about Ivy Paw and Hawk Frost training together, and this is the thing that I've noticed in this arc specifically, are these cats not teaching history anymore? Because like that man tried to kill your leader.
Yeah, it's
like,
wild.
You would think Hawk Frost would be like a story that the elders would tell to the kits in order to get them to behave like they did with fucking like Broken Star and shit. Like, it's crazy to me that like she has no idea who he is. Like, he fully tells her his name and she's like, oh, cool.
Yeah, it's wild.
I don't know you. And it's just kind of like, okay, are we... Because it feels like it's happened with other, like...
I mean, just the fact that, like, Lion Paw was like, yeah, sure, I'll train with Tiger Star.
Yeah, it
and
just
Hawk
feels
Frost,
like nobody is telling folks, like, their history.
They aren't teaching the children.
They aren't teaching the children, and I do feel like that is probably going to be pretty key for the Dark Forest in whatever they've got planned, because that makes it so much easier for them to manipulate.
It does. You're so right. Yeah. And it you know, there is kind of, it's interesting that, because like Jay Feather, for example, doesn't know who Broken Star is, like learns.
Yeah, exactly.
Yellowfang's whole story, which also fucking atrocious Jay Feather moment. Huge L for Jay Feather, where he's extremely rude to Yellowfang inside his brain. Like, he hears her whole sad story and he's like, if it were me, I simply wouldn't have done it. Like, I don't know. Sounds like that was a you problem.
Now, I do have to say, because so one of the things that I did while I was on my trip is I went back and I re-listened to our Leaf Pool's Wish After Sunset episode. Yellowfang was not very sympathetic to Leaf Pool. So, like, I can't blame Jay Feather too much.
It's true, yeah. Yellowfang was absolutely atrocious.
Because she kind of had that one coming. It's just a rough thing all around.
It's almost like every time these authors write about a medicine cat having kits, they really trip over their shoelaces.
Well, they act like it's never happened before when they fall back on this as like a plot point in like every other generation.
And they always act like it's the worst fucking thing in the world.
Yeah.
Like, no greater sin can be committed than
having children.
Than having children when you have a job. So yeah, there was that Jay Feather L. Not necessarily a Jay Feather L, but the conversations are
just an unfavorable.
Yeah. No, sorry, I'm talking about different thing. Earlier in the book, Jay Feather with the stick. There was two moments that really made me laugh, which is one is Lion Blaze talking to Jay Feather about the stick, and it truly comes off as the way homophobic parents talk to their gay kids. Like, he's like,
it's so funny.
I know the stick was important to you, even if I don't really understand the relationship that you had with the stick and like the connection. Like, I don't understand it, but I understand that it's important to you. It's so funny. And then, of course, Jay Feather like screaming, "Baby, take me back, I didn't mean it," at the stick as it floats away in the fucking water.
He's just like, please, I promise, I'll change.
I'll change. Dude, you gotta get a hobby.
Jay Feather.
You gotta get a hobby, bud. Come on.
Yeah. I do have to admit, Cinderheart and Lionblaze are kind of cute.
They're
mostly because of Cinderheart. I think I would have loved that scene a lot more if it was from her point of view. Just saying. But I like how she's kind of, she's joking around with him. He's not serious. He's like able to enjoy himself, and it's kind of like, oh yeah, it's cute.
I think that
especially when she like psychs him out at the start of the race.
Yeah. Oh, that part's cute. I think that Cinderheart brings out the best of Lionblaze, and I think we will get to see that even more as this arc kind of continues forward.
Yeah, and I do agree. I think she kind of is the reason that he can actually be somewhat bearable, in my opinion.
Yeah. I kept saying, like in our first episode, and like even through sort of the back half of the previous season, like, what is it that I don't know? I try to remember what happens to Lionblaze that like makes me like him, and I'm like, oh, Cinderheart happens to him. Now I'm like, oh yeah. Cinderheart happens to Lionblaze. That's what happens.
Yeah. But it's cute, so
yeah. I'm a simple woman. Dovepaw and Tigerheart are cute. They're fucking cute, okay?
God, I love them. Oh, they're so cute.
They're so cute.
Oh. They are so precious. I love them. Can't stop them.
Cannot stop thinking about them. And ooh, so much is coming. So much is coming, Jill.
I'm stoked.
I love them.
I'm so excited. I love them so much.
I cannot say more for fear of saying things I should not yet say.
For sure.
But
yeah, I'm very excited.
The moment during the big fight when Dovepaw notices that Tigerheart and Ivypaw like share a tiny nod, and she's like,
and she's so jealous.
She's like, whoa, I'm feeling, and she's also like, I'm so jealous, and I've never felt jealousy before. Like I
literally,
like I'm going through a lot in this moment. And I'm overstimulated as fuck because I'm in this fight. That was one of the things about the last fight that I really, really liked, was how they highlighted that she was like, oh my God, that's so fucking loud.
Yes, exactly. I 100% agree.
Good stuff. Yeah. Oof. Juicy. Juicy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I can't wait. The fight, that shit was crazy to me.
Yeah.
The way that Firestar like just went along with it.
I know.
But I really enjoyed that it shows him having flaws again. And that like ThunderClan isn't the good guys in this situation.
Yeah, absolutely. And did that come from like the Dark Forest poking at the world of the living and like manipulating it? Yeah, but Firestar still could have like not listened to the apprentice.
Very easily.
Yeah, that part. I also
crazy
like
that he lost another life. Love that shit.
Oh my God, yeah.
That was fucking wild, the way that she had like Russet-Fur like had him in a death lock, and
I know it
was kind of inadvertently Lionblaze's fault that he lost the life because he pulled Russet-Fur off of him, and that's what like got him bleeding out.
Oh, that's true. Interesting. That's an interesting angle there. I keep thinking of this. I thought this the first time I read this. I think this time that Blackstar throws an awful big fit about Russet-Fur dying, considering that Russet-Fur died because she was fucking killing Firestar.
Yeah.
Like just because Firestar gets to come back to life doesn't mean she wasn't intent
also
murder.
Killing him.
Yeah,
and like that could have been his last life. Blackstar doesn't know that.
Blackstar doesn't fucking know.
I believe so. I think at this point there are some inconsistencies with how many lives Firestar has left. Because they show
earlier in this book, they say that he has 5. He's lost 5, so he has 4 left. But I think that later here they're like, oh no, this is his like second to last or something.
Yeah, because I think I read somewhere that it was like actually he's lost 7.
Yeah, they said earlier that he had lost 5, but no, he's lost 7.
Which I think part of that was because of like inconsistencies with the super editions and stuff like that. But yeah, I really loved seeing, like, I love the way that like the leaders' lives just kind of like vibe there, like unsettling statues.
Yeah, right?
That's kind of fucked.
It is.
And I love
it's
it so much. It's so spooky.
It's super spooky that they just kind of exist in StarClan, but without personality, just kind of as these apparitions.
They can't hear or like interact with things. They just kind of are there. It's fucked up. Love it.
It's very good. I love it. I love it when they get spooky with that shit.
Yeah. I have a feeling we'll be getting very, very more spooky soon.
We're gonna be getting fucking spooky. It's gonna be spooky season.
Spooky season.
Obligatory. I can't believe Spotted Leaf is here again. I won't say anymore.
I'm tired of her ass. I'm sick of her ass.
How can she still be a relevant player? Even to where she like she's like, Yellowfang, get out of here. Like, I'll handle this. Like, fucking no. Get your ass out of here. Get out.
You need to leave.
You need to leave. Scram. Leave her alone.
She don't want you here. Oh my lord. Yeah.
The last note I had for this book is Squirrel Flight. There's a moment where Squirrel Flight comes for Jay Feather's ass, and he deserves it, and it's really good. Because Jay Feather is continuing to be the biggest piece of shit to his mothers, both of them. And Squirrel Flight is like, do you think like this is fun for me? Like, do you think this wasn't something that we put a lot of fucking thought into? We didn't just do this on a fucking whim, Jay Feather. Like, so I liked that. I miss Squirrel Flight. She's not that present. She and Leafpool are not that present. Leafpool, we get a little bit more Leafpool here. I like the moment where Jay Feather is like, hey, can you like fucking help me with this? And she's like, yeah, right.
Yeah, because she's like staring. He's like, all right, either get out of my way or help me out.
Which is good. Yeah. Oh, I'm excited to read the next book.
Me too.
But before that, you have anything else before we move on to the gay tragedy?
No, I just want to go and talk about my gay cats.
All right, let's go talk about the gay cats. Overall thoughts.
I sad.
I sad.
So I think there were some pacing and dialogue issues that I had with this one. Like, from a like purely mechanical writing standpoint, I do not think this was the strongest novella.
No, it was also very short.
From an emotional standpoint, I'm devastated.
Yeah.
So, like, I think mechanically it suffered, but I think emotions-wise, like, and character-wise, like, it was good. Because both Ravenpaw and Barley were very in character. Barley is still very, like, insecure, maybe, about Ravenpaw, like, having that former life, and he's very clearly uncomfortable when Ravenpaw, like, talks about it. And so, like, it makes sense that he would be upset for, like, offering to take the kits to SkyClan. But at the same time, you know, like, Ravenpaw is so clearly, like, still Ravenpaw, but matured, and it's so nice to see.
Yeah.
So I think character-wise, it was really well done. I just think the writing was maybe suffered a little bit. But overall, I didn't take many notes except for quotes that, like, things that were said that made my heart ache. So
yeah. I also took my notes were mostly like quote and then wah. I agree basically with everything you said, that it's not structurally the strongest novella. Also, like, is is pretty short. It all feels like it happens really fast. I think I read on the wiki that it's like only 90 pages, so it's really like a romp. I think that it has a really strong start and a really strong end, and the middle just kind of like, they don't really know what to do. Yeah, it suffers a little bit. And this is the same problem that Firestar's Quest had, actually, is like they don't know what to do with the time in between being in the forest and being at the gorge. I do really like the introduction of Bella and Riley as characters. I personally think they're fun.
I like them, yeah.
And I like the little things that it's like they kind of they remind Ravenpaw of Firestar and Graystripe.
Yeah.
We get the really wonderful "Do you and Barley have kits?" line from Bella. That's one of my favorites.
That's so good.
It's so good.
That killed me. I was like, oh my god.
It's so funny.
And the way he's like, no, we don't. But yeah, that was the first thing I wrote down is I just thought it was so funny because it's like, that's such little kid behavior too. Like asking such a silly, like a question that would be so awkward to answer truthfully. But it's just like innocent asking.
Yeah, it's so good. She's got the spirit.
Yeah, I did text my husband while I was reading. I texted him, I was like, my gay cats are having a falling out. And he responded, no! And I said, one of them has a mysterious illness, and if they don't make up before he dies, I'm gonna commit. I was actually genuinely worried that they were gonna make it super tragic and be they didn't make up before Ravenpaw dies.
I was so worried that like Barley wasn't gonna get there until like right before Ravenpaw died, and they were going to have like a deathbed makeup scene. And I was like, I can't, like, I don't want that to be it. Please let Barley show up. Barley save me. And Barley did save us. Barley showed up.
Yes. The fact that he said, my home is wherever you are. They invented love. They invented it.
I thought the barn was my home, but my home is wherever you are. Shut the fuck up. Are you kidding me? Are you fucking for real right now?
I'm so emotional about it.
I know. If you're a listener and you have not read, you're not reading along with us, you might hear us saying, oh, the cats are really gay in this book, and think that we're stretching it. In everything, it is the only thing that they could do to make the text more text and less subtext is to straight up say, we are dating. Like,
yeah.
They truly tell each other how much they love each other. That's
literally like the thing that like before he dies, StarClan is like you are loved, and he's like, yeah, I know there's someone who loves me, and I have to like be with him before I die. And it's like, yeah, you fucking love each other. And the way it's always describing, like they go, like the way it's always described how they like go to sleep together, and how Ravenpaw and Barley are always like burying their noses in each other's fur, like specifically mentioning like Ravenpaw sticking his face in Barley's belly fur. And it's just like, that is such, like, listeners, if you don't have a cat, cats don't really like their bellies being touched.
Yeah.
And so like them being together like that is just such a like trusting and intimate thing. And they're always curled up around each other and reassuring each other that they're not going to leave. And it's just so cute. And they're so gay. It is like constantly talking about how much these two cats are touching each other. Fucking destroyed me. And then Barley talking about the kits and saying they deserve to choose the life they lead just like we did. And I'm like, all right, queen.
Okay, yeah.
That's that is an incredibly queer-coded line. Thank you.
Hell yeah. I hadn't even put that together. You're so right. Extremely queer-coded line.
Yeah. So I just think it was a really, like, again, mechanical writing, maybe not the best.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely lots of like queer coding and like very almost explicitly like these two are together stuff. And it was just very, I don't know, it was really nice to see. And I would really love if we could get more of that in like main series books.
Yeah, I agree. I do have a quote in the Erin Corner that kind of also covers this that I'm excited to talk about. Another thing that had me screaming, crying, throwing up was Ravenpaw remembering Whitestorm. Ravenpaw saying, kind, patient Whitestorm who tried so hard to make Ravenpaw's apprenticeship bearable.
King, we miss you every day.
I miss him so much. We don't get enough, like, Whitestorm being present in StarClan. Like, he's in this novella, but I really wish that he showed up as a guide for future generations more often, because I'm fucking obsessed with that cat. I love him so much.
He's great.
And he's so important.
Yeah, especially because, like, it really just hammers home how much all of the apprentices in ThunderClan in the Old Forest loved him.
Yeah.
Because, like, you know, all of the apprentices went and killed Bone after he died, and just knowing that he consistently had such an impact. The other thing that I wrote down that shit hurted is he will not love you less if he cannot see you. When Ravenpaw's like, I can't leave him alone. Like, I can't do it. And it's like, he's still gonna love you even if you're not there. And it's like, it's true. And the fact that Ravenpaw, like, doesn't go to StarClan and instead is like, I'm gonna wait for him and then we're gonna go wherever he goes. Because it's like, okay, so here's the thing. It's Barley followed him to the clans, and so he's repaying Barley for trusting and following him by, like, having him be the one to decide where they're gonna go after they die. And it's equivalent exchange, Scout.
Toka Koka! How could they do this to us? I did like how many times in this novella we had Ravenpaw kind of slip into StarClan and get visited by StarClan cats, because it really felt like the novella was like, we're playing the hits, and I'm like, yes, the hits.
Turn it up.
Turn it up. I liked that a lot. But yeah, the final scene when all of the times throughout the book where Barley is like, I can tell you're hurting. I know that you're hurting.
I know.
And is so attentive and like,
man, I can't fucking do this.
It's what?
It's so sweet.
He fucking Ravenpaw dies with his head on Barley's paws. Like,
how much more fucking romantic can you get than that shit?
The most romantic thing that's ever happened to two cats, or two people, probably.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have much else to say about this except that, like, it broke my heart in the best way, and I was sobbing into my Chinese food.
Yeah.
So...
yeah, it was... I don't have anything else to say either. Just a moment of silence for Ravenpaw and a moment for their love.
Yeah.
I can't wait for them to spend their eternity together once Barley joins Ravenpaw in the afterlife. They're going to have the best time.
They are.
To end on a silly note before I take us to the Erin Corner, there was a moment where Barley arched an eyebrow, and I was like, that's not how that's not how cats work.
That's not how cats do it.
That's not how any of this works. Which I think kind of speaks to what you said about some of the mechanical writing here being not as strong. All right, should I walk us to the Erin Corner?
Please do.
All right. Fading Echoes first. This was the first book in the main series to feature 4 different points of view. We talked about that a little bit earlier. Very ambitious, but probably spreading things a little too thin. I think that they do more books that are like have that many different points of view, and I do think that it gets a little bit more consistent from what I remember. But it's a fun angle to take. I wouldn't give up the Ivy Paw POV for anything. thing, but like we said earlier, probably could lose Lion Blaze. Ivypaw is named after Vicky's niece, which I think is really cute. Vicky has a niece named Ivy. Here's my note about the consistency. Yellowfang says 5 of Firestar's lives are in StarClan, implying that Firestar has lost 5 lives, but he has, in fact, lost 7 lives. So was this his 8th? Does that mean, was this his 7th life or his 8th life? I think it's his 8th life. But I can't remember if he loses one more before the end of the series or not. We shall see.
It'll be a fun little surprise.
A fun little surprise for us. A good one from the wiki. Somebody asked Kate for a random fun fact about Ivypaw, and Kate said she occasionally purrs in her sleep. I think that's cute.
That's adorable. Wait, Ivypaw or Ivy the kid?
Ivypaw, the cat.
That's adorable.
Yeah. Then we've got Ravenpaw info. I'm starting with the worst one. Ravenpaw has a line to Barley. There's a secret that I have kept from you without meaning to. I have always been a warrior. And this was apparently inspired by That's My Secret Cap. I'm always angry. Boo.
I really wish you had not burdened me with that.
I'm so sorry to burden you with this knowledge. Why have we done this? Jill is just staring.
It was 2010. It was a different time.
It was. No, wait. This was 2016. 2010 was Fading Echoes.
That's unforgivable.
It's unforgivable that it was 2016 and they did this.
Oh, unforgivable. Girl, why?
Vicky, she's a hit previously with she was like, when we had the Rambo reference, that was good. Yeah. Gladiator reference, that was fine. Avengers, you can't do this
2016?
In 2016, you cannot.
Oh, God. That was 8 years ago.
Yeah, it was.
That's fucked.
Mm-hmm. Time.
Oh, man.
I hate it. I hate time.
The inexorable passage and whatnot.
Uh-huh. All right. Moving on from that cursed knowledge. Apologies for burdening everybody. This is like, it's one tier in the iceberg. Like, it's one tier. I guess if it was an iceberg, the worst things are in the bottom of the iceberg, right? The most fucked up things. So it's one tier above in the iceberg. 9/11 inspired the tribe.
Oh,
like
God.
our cursed Victoria Holmes takes tier list.
Girl's got some wild ideas.
Yeah, she really does. But happier thing. Ravenpaw, this is from Vicky. It's from the wiki about Vicky from the wiki.
Vicky from the wiki
said, Ravenpaw and Barley loved each other and their life together. In addition, Vicky stated that Ravenpaw and Barley were always intended to be a couple, but the books were written at a different time when it was not possible to be open and honest about this kind of thing. We've talked about that a little bit before with like what was going on with Jake and Tallstar.
Yeah.
And I think that the much clearer expressions of love in Ravenpaw's Farewell is sort of indicative of the fact that it was a 2016 novella versus like being in the
original series.
Yeah, the original series. And I'm glad that we got to kind of see that more explicitly stated here. I'm really happy that they got to do that with Ravenpaw's Farewell, that like it happened late enough that was something they could be a little bit more explicit about.
Yeah, I think the only issue I have with that is like, yes, they were always intended to be a couple, but it was a different time. And so now they're a little bit, they're able to be more open about it. It doesn't ring very true when you look at the series as a whole and the fact that it has been 8 years since this book and there is still no, as far as I'm aware, canonical queer cats.
Yeah, that's fair.
Especially in like, and I could be wrong. Maybe I've been very good at avoiding most of the spoilers for Starless Clan. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there is a gay cat, but
I hope so.
But like, it does feel very like, I'm not going to invoke her name, but it feels very, we all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, there's a little bit of, well, I'm saying it outside of the text so that people
so that
can
I don't get
be
in
like,
trouble for it.
Right, yeah.
So yeah, I think this is certainly like explicit enough for me to believe that yes, Ravenpaw and Barley like like my ship is canon kind of thing.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But it does not feel like the excuse of it was a different time works as an apology for me, because they have not done anything other than these two cats in a short novella that like was released digitally for most of its lifespan.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's just my 2 cents.
Oh yeah, totally agree. Feels very like covering your tracks of her to say that. But the part that I did like was that we do get, we do get to see them like this, and it is, even though it's kind of like a half-hearted kind of excuse on Vicky's part, it's still, it's nice to get the confirmation, but totally agree. And then I'm curious if we're gonna get it more explicitly in the graphic novel adaptations.
Me too.
Because we definitely have panels in the graphic novel where we have Barley and Ravenpaw like blushing at each other in the background of some of the scenes. So I would love it if it was a more explicit thing as they do those updated graphic novel adaptations of the series, and maybe we get a little bit more of the I would love more queer representation for these cats,
especially with given, like, I mean, let's be real, like, there's a stereotype for a reason of all of the Warrior Cats kids growing up and coming out. Like, for whatever reason, that's just the way it works. So,
when you're a child and you want to pretend to be a cat, I think there's a corroboration between that and growing up and having a queer identity.
Yeah, especially, well, I was thinking about this too while I was driving home the other day. I was like, like being the kids on the playground who are playing pretend long past everyone else has stopped playing pretend. That's a little bit of a flag there of like, hey, you prefer to pretend to be something other than what people think you are.
Interesting.
Maybe let's explore that a little bit.
Let's explore the space.
So, yeah, I was just thinking about that. I'm like, interesting. Definitely something there. But, yeah, it would be nice to see some actual, like, official, canonical, like, explicit represenation, I think.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think. I mean, the fact that I can't pull anything immediately to mind up to what I've read is, like, a glaring red flag. I'm interested to see some of the supplementary material that I haven't read, some of like the super editions and stuff. I feel like there might be a specific group of cats that are heavily queer coded, but we'll see how that goes. We'll see if I'm right on that or if that's just a thing that I think.
Cool. Excited. All right. Anything else in the Erin Corner today?
No, that's it. Let's head over to Sharing Tongue.
First thing I want to say is I wish I had saved it. I saw a TikTok the other day that basically had Hawkfrost as like Ivy Paw's JoJo stand.
God, I wish I could see it.
It was so cool.
That rules.
Yeah, I wish I had saved that shit. So that's out there. If anyone finds it, please let me know. In terms of Tumblr, looking at Faded Echoes, there's also a Greek band called Fading Echoes. So there were a lot of posts about the band.
Interesting.
A lot of Ivy Paw slander, which I will not stand for.
No, come on, guys.
Because clearly people cannot handle a complex female character. That's all I'm going to say. There's some people, someone taking the start of Fading Echoes where it's talking about Darkstripe showing up, and their comment is, I get that the Erins were probably going for like villain's shifty sneaky minion aesthetic, but this honestly just reads as Darkstripe being super gay and Tiger Star being like, stop, you're embarrassing me.
It's so true. Those two things are not mutually exclusive.
No, they are not.
To be fair.
No, and everyone is talking about how gay Darkstripe is for Tiger Star. And they're so
funny.
Right. Shout out to this tag of someone who did not know that Hollyleaf was still alive. Hashtag, did my psychotic murderous grunge bitch Hollyleaf survive? No notes.
No notes. 10 out of 10.
Absolutely none. Ravenpaw's farewell. There's just some really lovely art. One of Ravenpaw watching over Barley as he sleeps. another of just them being cutie pies together. I just love people who draw Barley just as like a big chunky fluffy cat. It's
Yeah.
I just want to hold him. Then Random Warriors Thoughts posted, after Bella and Riley joined SkyClan, Barley had to walk all the way home on his own because Ravenpaw was dead. He had to hunt on his own, sleep on his own, eat on his own. He had to see their barn again and know that Ravenpaw would not. And I'm like, hey,
shut the fuck up.
That fucking hurts.
Why you doing this to me right now?
Yeah, so that one was pain. And then just some memes. Learning Ravenpaw has a book. Just excited. Reading Ravenpaw's book. Absolutely devastated. And then this last one. I'm bringing it back to the hashtag Yowie. So there's this post I found where it's like 3 very realistically drawn images of Barley and Ravenpaw in the barn. And then the 4th picture is just 2 anime boys fucking making out sloppy style. With like cat ears and meant to be like Ravenpaw and Barley. And it took me like, it's like a fucking, it simply shocked me to see it like that.
It's so funny. Why would you put these things in the same post?
It was crazy to me.
Funny.
And I just think it's also funny that they did hashtag boys love and hashtag Yowie on it. Impeccable. Wonderful. The way it took me by complete surprise. I had to share it.
Oh my god.
I can't stop thinking about this. I'm gonna think about this forever.
I'm just sitting here staring at it like agog.
Yeah, wild. So both Scout and I have been using Storygraph lately, which is like a new alternative to Goodreads. And I decided to kind of look at folks' reviews of these books.
I love this.
As part of our Sharing Tongues now, because a lot of them are more recent reviews, but I do think it is fun. Fading Echoes, there's a lot more Ivy Paw appreciation on Storygraph.
Hell yeah.
As well as someone who just posted as their review, Longtail, crying face. And all of the responses to Ravenpaw's farewell were about crying. It's me crying, more likely than you think. I cried, thanks. So a lot of people just being like, yep, I'm very sad about my cats. AO3, there are 4 works for Fading Echoes. I don't have the strength to read the one that I pulled today because I'm already devastated about cats, but it is about Longtail arriving in StarClan and the first cat he meets being Swiftpaw. Yeah. So I said I will not be doing that today. Maybe later. Longtail himself has 279 works. There are only 5 for Longtail and Mousefur as a ship. This is bullshit. We need to fix this.
Come on, guys.
And there are 152 works for Mousefur.
Wow.
There's only 1 work tagged for Ravenpaw's farewell, but it is about Barley after Ravenpaw's death. I've not read it yet, because again, I'm not strong enough today. But the title is called It's Not Heaven Without You, and I am sad. 158 works for Barley and Ravenpaw as a ship. So let's go, gays.
Let's go, gays.
I believe we see Riley and Bella later on, so I did not search for them.
Yeah, we get them at least in the background. I'm interested to see.
Yeah.
There's a lot of there's like one SkyClan specific super edition and like a bunch of novellas that are SkyClan focused coming up in the next arc that I'm excited about, and I think we might see them there.
Yeah, when I was searching stuff, I was seeing their warrior names, so I was like, okay, well, we'll see them later apparently.
Yeah, I'm excited.
So for those of you who may be unaware, Twitter has fallen to shit.
Twitter is truly
it has been on the steep decline like the entire time we've been doing this podcast, basically. But there have been some very recent implementations of policies that have not gone over well. So a lot of folks have moved over to Blue Sky, which I have also done. So I did search on there because they have a working tag system, which is great.
Hell yeah.
However, for Fading Echoes, I didn't really find that much, mostly about the Greek band and people talking about Twitter dying, actually talking about it being talking about websites dying and being faded echoes of themselves.
Damn.
And then to continue the fucking anime drawings.
Let's go.
This kind of goes off. It is a drawing of Hawkfrost and Ivy Paw as anime style.
Let's go.
Hawkfrost.
Oh, this fucking owns.
Doesn't
this rules.
Hawkfrost is behind Ivy Paw.
He's got a gun.
He's positioning her hands on a gun. She looks terrified. He's got a fucking stake through his neck and it is still bleeding. And he's the caption is, Hawkfrost explains to Ivy Paw how to solve all her problems.
Shout out to the shirt that says Thunder.
I know. Legally distinct ThunderClan shirt.
Fuck, dude.
This is done by Just Merrick, JUSTMARRIK on Blue Sky, and it fucking rules, honestly. They only have 25 followers? Okay, well, we're changing that. Anyone interested in seeing warriors as humans, fucking go check that shit out.
Hell yeah.
Did you see the fucking tiger star? I was just about to say. They also did a tiger star. He's smoking a cigar, and it says, "Sorry, you're not a Sigma." It's so good.
Holy shit.
Oh, I am obsessed.
Wow.
Oh, this is fun.
Very good.
Yeah, no, that art, I saw that, and I was like, this fucking rules.
That art owns.
Yeah. So that was very fun to see. Ravenpaw's farewell. Just so much Ravenpaw fan art. I just linked the search query because they're all so good. Just nice, lithe little guy.
I'm just gonna start following some Warrior Cats artists on Blue Sky in the middle of this recording.
I literally at right before this checked and got a Warrior Cats feed for the podcast, so I can start retweet or repost. I don't fucking know what we're supposed to say. Reposting.
We're not saying re-skeeting, everybody. I'm not doing it.
Reposting cool art that folks have done on the Blue Sky. So I saw this, had to bring it back. It's that Anthro, Barley and Ravenpaw where they're farmers.
Yes, I love that
Barley
one so
is
much.
Fucking lounging on the hay bales.
Yeah.
That's everything to me.
It's everything.
And then we've got this beautiful Pride post that James Barry posted on, I think, Instagram in 2023, where he drew Ravenpaw and Barley next to each other and put a nice Pride flag above them.
Oh.
Love that.
Blessed content.
And then another one of Ravenpaw and Barley in front of the gay flag. The gay male flag, I guess I should say. And Barley, they both got little bandanas on. Barley's got a piece of wheat in his teeth. It's so cute. And they're so adorable. It's really lovely art to see. YouTube, there were a couple of Ravenpaw and Barley ones. One set to Somewhere Only We Know, which fucking, ouch. Ouch. Ouch.
Ow.
And then I don't know why this showed up when I searched Ravenpaw and Barley, but ye old meme Firestar doesn't like waffles popped up. So,
oh god.
Yeah, I'm not watching it again, but that's still out there. Somebody's been someone re-uploaded it. Still exists. All of the ones dealing with Ivypaw and Hawkfrost are for later in the series, so I did not go and watch any of them because it would spoil things. But yeah, seems to be a decent amount of stuff. I do think it seems that people are a lot more invested in Ivypaw and Dovepaw when they are not apprentices anymore, is what I've seen for the most part on
there's a lot
any
of
sort of
there's a lot of
media.
stuff that goes on. Yeah.
So
we will return to them.
We will return to them. Ivypaw and Dovepaw will return in Avengers Endgame.
No! Bringing it back.
Bringing it back, baby. Let's talk about our Warrior Cats of the Week.
Yeah. I've got, so for Fading Echoes, what did I do? All right. For Fading Echoes, my pick was Ivy Paw because it's really fun to see her enter the story here, and I like getting here. And for Ravenpaw's Farewell, it was actually Barley because just the way that his grief, like his sort of creeping grief as he knows that he is about to lose his partner, is really effective.
Yeah.
And that particular, like being the one left behind, really hit me hard.
Yeah.
What about you?
I also picked Ivy Paw.
Woo!
Because I thought watching her unknowing corruption arc is very fun.
It is really fun.
I really loved like her being like, well, if my sister's not going to tell me her secret, then I'm not going to tell her mine. And it's like, oh my God, if you guys just talk to each other, this would not have the effects that it is going to have.
I know.
And just like seeing the way that she like is so clearly affected by her jealousy and the way that like very clearly like the other cats in the clan are favoring her sister and she doesn't know why.
Yeah.
Just seeing a different side of Dovepaw's powers just was really fun.
Yeah.
And then Ravenpaw, just because I love Ravenpaw and I thought all of his like, yeah, it's Ravenpaw. I really loved when he was like, when he told Blue Star like, hey, I really appreciate that you want to offer me a warrior name, but like I like my name and I'm good with where I am. And the way he was worried about Barley and just how hurt he was when Barley didn't see them off. I really loved every moment of Ravenpaw. I just thought it was great. So he's my warrior cat of the week.
Good boy, fly high, King.
You want to take us out?
Yeah, let's take us out. If you have thoughts, opinions, questions, or memes to share with us, you can write to us at pawsandclawspod@gmail.com. That's paws as in what a cat has, claws as in the part of speech, pod as in podcast. We are also on Twitter. We're on Twitter, and we're on Blue Sky. Yeah!
Yay!
Paws and Claws, and on Tumblr at Paws Clause Pod. Listeners who are 18 years and older can come join us on Discord, which will be linked in the show notes. We are brought to you by the TWG Podcast Network, which you can find at theworstgarbage.online. You can find me on, I'm honestly probably going to delete my Twitter soon, but you can find me on Tumblr or Blue Sky at HumbleGoat. And you can see the art that I do, including our podcast cover art, at scoutwilkinson.myportfolio.com.
And you can find me on Blue Sky at plot-twists, on Tumblr at antique-romantic, or less frequently on Twitter at plot_twists. Our next episode will be out on January 14th as we take a little break for Leaf Bear. In this episode, we will discuss Omen of the Stars, Book 3, Night Whispers. Read along by buying the book from a local bookstore or checking out a copy from your local library. Until then, dear listeners, may StarClan guide your paws.
TWG, the worst garbage, online.